Prepare for a revelation that will shatter your perception of control and destiny. Have you ever felt adrift, caught in a relentless current of circumstances, convinced that life is merely a series of random events, that your path is dictated by chance encounters and unyielding external forces? What if I told you that this pervasive feeling of being a puppet of fate is, in fact, an illusion, a magnificent deception crafted by the very depths of your own mind? And what if the true compass to your life's direction, the genuine key to unlocking your profound purpose, lies not in chasing external validation or trying to manipulate the world around you, but in understanding the astonishing, often unsettling, insights of a man who dared to map the hidden landscapes of the human soul? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're going to dive into Carl Jung's most powerful, life-altering concepts, insights that will irrevocably change how you navigate every decision, every relationship, and every challenge, moving you from the realm of the reactive to the undeniable power of conscious creation. And if this journey into the depths of your own psyche ignites a spark of curiosity, a burning desire for more, consider subscribing to our channel right now. We've all been conditioned to believe that our lives are a direct consequence of our conscious decisions, that our rational minds are the sole architects of our destiny. Yet, for a revolutionary thinker like Carl Jung, the influential Swiss psychoanalyst, the greater part of our existence, including our most significant joys and profound heartaches, is meticulously orchestrated by a hidden realm within us, vast, enigmatic, unconscious. What appears to be pure coincidence, an unexpected turn of events, or an inexplicable attraction, is rarely, if ever, truly random. It is, in reality, the tangible manifestation of unseen forces, meticulously shaped by decades of internal evolution, perhaps spanning 20 or even 35 years of an individual's psychological journey, encompassing unaddressed emotions, unresolved conflicts, and unfulfilled desires that subtly guide their every step. Behind every feeling of being stuck, every recurring pattern, lies a sophisticated internal blueprint, a silent map of the psyche that subtly directs us towards specific experiences, almost like an internal compass pointing to what we need to encounter for our growth. This is precisely where Jung introduces his groundbreaking concept of individuation. Each of us carries within us an immense treasury of hidden potentials, fragmented aspects of who we are, who we once were, or who we ardently aspire to become. These potent aspects are frequently suppressed, denied, or relegated to the obscure corners of our unconscious, often because they challenge our conscious self-image or were deemed unacceptable in our formative years. However, they do not simply vanish. Instead, they lie dormant, awaiting activation, holding significant psychological energy, often communicating with us through the compelling presence of challenging circumstances or profound encounters. When we experience profound discomfort, an inexplicable longing, or a recurring pattern of frustrating events, it is not merely external misfortune. It is often the unconscious, urgently calling for integration. The profound truth is, we are not merely victims of circumstance. We are witnessing a powerful reflection of a part of ourselves, mirrored in the very challenges we face, a part that our conscious mind may have long forgotten or actively suppressed, a piece of our own soul returning to us through the external world. Consider, for instance, a gifted musician, perhaps in their late 30s, who has meticulously pursued a stable career as a legal advisor. Their life precisely structured, every decision carefully weighed, every risk meticulously avoided. This individual might have consistently suppressed their innate creative impulse, viewing artistic expression as impractical or financially unstable. When they suddenly find themselves in a profound professional crisis, perhaps facing an unexpected layoff, an overwhelming sense of aimlessness might ensue. This profound feeling transcends mere job loss. It is a powerful resonance, an internal chord struck by an external presence. That professional upheaval embodies something latent within the legal advisor, a dormant potential for creative expression, emotional liberation, and a more fluid approach to life that has been obscured beneath years of careful self-preservation and rigid adherence to structure. The discomfort is undeniably genuine, but the true impetus behind it is the unconscious mind responding to precisely what it requires for its own continued evolution. A vital piece of the psychological puzzle it seeks to integrate into a more complete self. The inverse scenario holds equally true. Someone might feel an inexplicable pull towards a completely new path, a sudden desire to relocate to a distant land, not because of logical reasoning, but because it symbolizes something they perceive as missing within themselves, a particular trait, a specific quality, an emotional resonance they have been instinctively seeking, a missing shade in their emotional palette that completes their inner spectrum. You become the quintessential missing piece, the living embodiment of an aspect of themselves they have yet to fully cultivate. A beacon illuminating a path to greater wholeness and integration of their own personality. Reason 1. You are being called to integrate a quality you inherently lack or have suppressed. This transcends the simplistic notion of seeking what's comfortable. Rather, it's about how contrasting experiences illuminate what is absent, what needs to be integrated within one's own psyche for greater balance and completeness. An individual who relies heavily on logic and empirical data, meticulous in their pursuit of facts, might find themselves facing a complex personal problem that defies rational solutions, forcing them to tap into their undeveloped intuition, to navigate the world not by cold reason but by gut feeling, by an almost mystical understanding of patterns. An inherently solitary spirit, accustomed to quiet contemplation and internal worlds, might discover profound connection through a demanding community project, forcing them to engage with gregarious personalities, to thrive in social interaction, radiating warmth and brightening every room they enter. A highly organized soul, whose life is a carefully constructed edifice of routines and plans, might be utterly fascinated by an unexpected turn of events that forces them to embrace delightful spontaneity, living day to day with an unscripted charm and a willingness to follow impulse. However, this magnetic attraction to an experience, powerful and captivating as it is, can perilously morph into dependence if the individual fails to recognize that the very qualities they admire in another person, or the lessons embedded in a challenging situation, are, in fact, latent potentials within their own being, waiting to be nurtured and brought into conscious awareness. They might cling to a person, not out of an authentic, selfless affection, but from an unconscious, unacknowledged need, seeing that person as a necessary external anchor for their own internal imbalance, believing that their presence is the sole source of these missing qualities. And the moment that need shifts, or as soon as your undeniable humanity, with all its beautiful flaws and complexities, your moments of doubt or your own need for solitude, disrupts their meticulously crafted idealized image, the powerful attraction may begin to wane, often dramatically and painfully. This is the inherent peril of projection. It fabricates an illusion of connection that frequently cannot withstand the unvarnished truth of reality. It builds a castle on sand, beautiful but ultimately fragile, vulnerable to the tides of real life interaction. And when that fragile illusion inevitably shatters, the affection built upon its foundation begins to disintegrate, leaving behind confusion and bitter disappointment. A clear sign that the love was never truly about the person, but about the projected ideal, the unconscious self-completion project. Reason 2. You awaken a potent unconscious image they have carried within them for a lifetime. You resonate with an internal pattern that stirs powerful, often irrational, emotion, bypassing conscious thought entirely and flooding the individual with intense feelings. This is precisely why the connection feels immediate and profoundly inexplicable, often defying logical explanation. It is not fundamentally about you as an individual in your everyday personality. It is about the potent symbol you have become to their inner world, the living embodiment of an archetype they carry, a sacred image of the ideal partner. But herein lies the inherent challenge. When someone falls in love with an internal image projected onto you, they are not truly perceiving you in your entirety, your full human complexity. They are seeing a meticulously constructed fantasy, a sacred ideal, a complex psychological construct that exists more in their mind than in objective reality. You become the canvas for a projection that was meticulously painted long before your arrival. A role you can never perfectly fulfill because no human can be a perfect archetype. And the moment your authentic self begins to emerge, your imperfections, your inherent contradictions, your undeniable human nature, the little habits they might find annoying, or the unexpected personality traits that deviate from their ideal, the cherished fantasy begins to fracture. What once felt divinely perfect becomes perplexing. What once seemed flawless now feels undeniably intricate and frustrating. Conflicts inevitably surface, followed by an unavoidable sense of disappointment, as the gap between the ideal and the real becomes apparent. The fragile illusion collapses under the undeniable weight of truth, much like a carefully built sandcastle dissolving with the incoming tide of reality. This is why so many initially passionate relationships, which begin with an exhilarating euphoria that seems too good to be true, often culminate in disarray, confusion, and even bitterness. They were not founded upon a bedrock of mutual understanding and acceptance of real humanity, but rather upon an archetypal projection, an unconscious script desperately attempting to play itself out in the tangible world. However, no human being can perpetually embody an archetype. Reality always intrudes, bringing with it the complexities of two separate individuals. If you're finding these insights as captivating as I am, and if this exploration of the unconscious forces shaping our connections is resonating with you, please click the link in the pinned comment below. There, you'll find exclusive resources and deeper dives into these psychological concepts, helping you integrate them into your life for profound personal transformation. Despite the profound emotional turmoil and confusion that projection frequently engenders, Jung did not interpret this as a failure. On the contrary, he firmly believed it constituted an indispensable component of our personal growth, a necessary stage in the journey towards psychological maturity. Love in this context is not merely an ephemeral emotional experience, a fleeting feeling. It is a formidable instrument of transformation, a powerful catalyst for change within us. Every individual we develop deep feelings for inevitably becomes a mirror, reflecting aspects of our own inner world back to us, sometimes beautifully, sometimes uncomfortably, and what we perceive reflected in them is precisely what we are compelled to acknowledge and integrate within ourselves. Some individuals illuminate our latent potential, revealing strengths or capacities we never knew we possessed, inspiring us to reach for new heights, while others expose our most profound anxieties and insecurities, forcing us to confront them head-on. Some ignite our creative spirit, urging us to pursue artistic or innovative paths that lay dormant, while others bring our deepest insecurities to the forefront, pushing us towards self-acceptance and shadow integration. Yet, all of them serve the identical psychological purpose: to accelerate the intricate process of individuation, the profound journey of becoming a complete, integrated self, recognizing and embracing all facets of one's personality, both light and shadow, conscious and unconscious. When someone falls deeply in love with you, they may genuinely believe they are witnessing something truly extraordinary within you, a special spark or quality, and, in a sense, they are. But the true magic resides not just in your being, but in what you awaken inside them, the dormant aspects of their own psyche stirring to life, often for the very first time. You are not merely a person. You are a potent symbol, a pivotal turning point, a profound psychological invitation to their own evolution, a stepping stone on their path to wholeness. And the same profound truth applies in reverse. The individuals you fall in love with, particularly those who profoundly shake you, who irrevocably alter your trajectory, who even cause you heartache, they are not random occurrences or cruel twists of fate. They are carriers of profound meaning, powerful catalysts for your inner evolution, serving a deeper purpose in your psychic development. Some individuals enter your life to awaken what lies dormant within you. Others arrive to impart lessons you have steadfastly refused to learn, perhaps about setting boundaries, cultivating self-worth, or letting go of control. Still others come simply to present you with your own reflection, whether distorted or remarkably clear, depending on your readiness to truly perceive it without judgment or denial. Not all of these significant relationships are destined for permanence. Some are designed to disrupt, like a sudden storm clearing the air, breaking old patterns. Others are meticulously crafted to shatter ingrained patterns of behavior or thinking that no longer serve your growth. Jung referred to these encounters as synchronistic occurrences that lack a logical connection, yet possess an undeniable, profound meaning, appearing to be meaningful coincidences that hold deep personal significance. When someone appears in your life at a precise, opportune moment and evokes powerful, undeniable feelings, it may not be a mere coincidence. Your unconscious, and theirs, was prepared, operating on a deeper level of readiness. And the very meeting itself was an unmistakable harbinger that profound change had already commenced within their own being, setting the stage for a new chapter. These are not errors, not even the painful ones, not even those that leave indelible scars, especially those, for they often hold the deepest lessons and compel the most significant growth. So, why do people truly fall in love with you? Because you either profoundly reflect something they desperately require for their own growth and integration, embodying a missing piece of their own puzzle, or you powerfully activate something they have long forgotten within themselves, a dormant potential or a lost aspect of their identity that craves expression. In both compelling scenarios, the profound affection is not fundamentally about you. It is about the self, striving relentlessly to evolve, to become more whole, to achieve greater psychological balance and integration. And the same profound truth holds for you. You develop deep feelings for those who mirror your missing components, those who resemble your inner images, those who, knowingly or not, possess the key to your next significant chapter of personal growth. However, if you fail to recognize these recurring patterns, if you consistently miss the deeper psychological lessons, you risk remaining trapped, perpetually attracted to the same archetypes, repeating identical relationship dynamics, chasing the same elusive illusions that inevitably lead to disappointment and heartbreak. You might mistakenly believe you are simply unlucky in matters of the heart, experiencing a string of failed connections over 14 or even 26 years, when in fact your unconscious is merely attempting to impart a crucial lesson you are not yet prepared to absorb, a lesson about self-acceptance, shadow integration, and ultimately self-love. Jung would unequivocally assert that the ultimate solution lies in heightened awareness. If this video has prompted you to reflect deeply on your own experiences, tell me in the comments below, what's one specific area of your life where you now recognize the unconscious might be steering your ship? Share your story, and let's explore these profound truths together. And if you found value in this message, hit that subscribe button to join our community. We're building a space for deep understanding and personal evolution.